I'm going to do a VOD review here for Colton, mid laner for League of Legends. Sent me 2 videos. This one was a loss, one was a win. For League, it doesn't matter as much whether it's a win or a loss. It's more about breaking down fights, when to push waves, when not to push waves, when to roam. As far as breaking down the fights in between you and Wukong and lane, I don't know enough about these matchups to speak on that. That's something you need to know as your character versus their character. That's matchup knowledge. That's why comfort picks are so important. So what I want you to get to a point when you're playing is you don't want to actively think about wave management and when to roam. That should all be subconscious, which is what the point of these VODs are to do, is to bring a lot of that kind of underlying stuff to light so we can talk about it, discuss the potential options, the pros and cons of pushing versus not pushing, when we can based on wave state, opponent health, neutral objectives being up, summoner spells. All this stuff is what we want to enlighten you on so you don't have to worry about that anymore. And then you can spend every time you're in match actively thinking about trades. You gotta think, okay, am I sustaining? Do I go for trades? Am I an all-in? Am I a poke? What am I doing against my opponent? So that stuff can be active thought in the wave management subconscious. So we're going to break down a lot of these exchanges, wave management, kind of watch through most of the landing phase. That's the thing I'm going to be trying to focus on. So after exchanges happen, based on the wave state, are we supposed to be pushing or freezing, trying to crash it, letting it crash into us? What are we trying to do here? Again, I don't know this matchup necessarily. I think Wukong theoretically wins this matchup because it's hard for Cat to actually all-in him and get the kill. And Wukong can sustain a little bit, I believe. He has some escape options. He can punish you for a messed up all-in. I have a feeling this state's just going to go a lot of like Wukong out farming you. That's about it. I don't really know that much about it, and that's okay. So he's going in. Early lane is super important. The very first 2 waves for a couple reasons. One, whoever hard pushes the first 2 waves are usually going to be in the better state for the remainder of the round. Or at least until the next back. Because if you crash the first 2 waves, hard push them, it'll always bounce back to your side. So if Wukong pushes this, it's going to go to your side. So you need to identify if your laner's doing that to you. In this case, it looks like he kind of is. Of course, Cat naturally pushes pretty hard. It's just how she farms with her Q. But there's going to be a point where he's going to walk up to last hit these, and we don't punish it. So this is what we're talking about early laning phase where we can get punishes. So queuing this minion's fine because we want to get the CS. It's fine. So if you were in his position, what would your goal right now be? And the obvious answer is to secure these 2 CS, where your goal should be to secure this CS. So right now, he's got more to lose than you do, right? He's got 2 CS to your 2 CS. So when he goes up to last hit this one, or when he goes to last hit this one, that's when we want to go punish him. Just auto him. You don't have to do anything fancy. Make him at least use an ability to disengage since he has a resource meter. You see the blue mana. You don't. And don't be afraid to take some sort of trade here, just to at least keep him honest. If trading early small pokes isn't what Cat wants to do in this matchup, which I would understand because I don't think Cat has any sustain where Wukong might. We don't really want to get chunked. This kind of permanent damage on us, but he's not going to be thinking about that. He wants to go hit this. So when he hits this, he's at level 1, which means his attack speed is super low, as is yours. He can't hit that and then turn on you. It's not going to happen that way. So go up there and just hit him while he hits this. Super simple, super easy. This CS is pretty far out of reach, but he's going to be on your side. So when he hits this, if you hit him and he hits you back, all these casters start hitting him. He's at level 1. Casters do a lot of damage. And that's how you can kind of snowball your lane. If you can actually get him to commit to trading to you, or if he doesn't and he gets hurt, he gets chipped, so a little less health, a little less health, a little less health, and you're going to be in a better state because you have minions on your side. That's when you can start bullying the lane. Because if he's half health, he's not going to want to go all in on you, and you have an opportunity to all in him. You have an opportunity to get a better Mundo gank. You can control the wave, freeze the wave, zone him off. You can do anything. So he's going to go for these, and we're just kind of letting him have it. We didn't even get the 1 CS that we wanted to, right? So we Q this one. We back up. Q's got a sick long cooldown. We don't really have a way to get to this one, so you should be able to identify that as far as your lane, and we need to punish this. Don't let him do that for free. Go hit him. Go mess him up. At least make him start respecting you. At this point, he's controlling the lane. It's like the autos, that was just from about, I think, a total of 5 autos from the casters, and they hurt him. You can see that health show up. Alright, so now he hits level 2 first. We're going to try to Q this minion, I'm guessing. Okay, so now we have our E. Now we can actually take some nice trades. Alright, so same thing. What's the next thing he's going to want to do? He doesn't really have anything readily available, but since he's controlling the lane, he zones you off of this one, and if you go to hit this, he could walk up and hit you. So we'll see what he does. And so we're just trying to farm. Maybe worth a Q. Yeah. Okay. So he procced Electrocute, and you still had a pretty nice trade before that. It just shows how strong Cat's burst is when we were able to get right on our dagger over there. So that just makes me think definitely early you need to be pressuring this lane way harder. Okay, that was better. So this was Cat being Cat. You have your cooldowns now. You know you can play a little bit. Why couldn't I pause it when I wanted? Wow, Cat E does way too much damage. Alright. So again, put yourself in his state. You know his next thing he's going to want to do is last hit this minion. So when he goes up to hit it, we E on and get another hit. This is pretty good. Yeah, E auto does a good chunk of damage. You can now control this lane pretty effectively. He's running Corrupting Pots, so he is very sustaining. He's going to need to burn one of them here for sure. But we can pressure him while that's happening. Okay. Now these are always weird points. The wave is super big for both sides. We're on cannon wave. If you eat these cannon shots, they do a lot of damage. So this is always the hardest time to try to all in because you are going to get hit hard. Now Cat can of course get in and out as long as you have your cooldowns up. Something to keep in mind. And again, look at the state. You have a couple choices. You can try to Q this one to sneak it. You can Q him and go for this. I think my play would be Q him and then get this on auto. So we're just trying to thin the wave, it looks like, which I'm okay with. There's autoing, just farming right now. This is all fine. So if we check lane states, his is a bit stronger. You got 3 casters to his 3 casters, cannon to his cannon, but he's up 3 melees. So these casters aren't going to get pressured. But it means that this is going to go down faster. But he's up a level and up a wave, and it is cannon. So when he goes to get this cannon, we can't exactly punish him. But you're going to want to at least Q him when he gets this. Or we can go for farm. I'm okay with that. Yeah, we're zoned off because we're down levels. So we see we had a chance of having an advantage. We had him weak, and we were, I mean, our health has been the same, but he was about half health. That's an opportunity to pressure him out of lane, poke him out lane, do something with it. Because at this point, if you're ahead in lane, you can use your abilities to harass him. Because you have lane control, you can just focus on autos for the minions. You don't need to use your abilities to farm. If you're the one on the heals, if you're being pushed back, you almost have to use your abilities always to hit CS, where he doesn't have to. So he can be up resources, up cooldowns. If he does that, if you're doing that, then you can use you don't have to worry about resources. You can use your cooldowns to poke him and then continue to just melee for CS. Okay. We have level 3. It's opportunities to start all-inning. This one's tricky. It looks like we're going to have to give this up unless you do choose to go in and burn everything on the way out. I don't know how big Cat. Okay, yeah, so you just EW. Okay. He was ready for it. You see how ready he was to punish the cannon? This is something none of you guys do. And we talked about it like day 1 kind of stuff. So he knows that you want that cannon. So as soon as you go for it, he uses his abilities to counter engage. You had to use everything to get out, so that's okay. And again, he's able to proc Electrocute, and we still get an okay trade. Yeah, your wave's big, so we're just trying to clear it. Wow. Q, E to the dagger. That range is big. What the hell? Proc Electrocute. Alright, we're gonna miss a lot of CS here. Yeah, a lot of CS. What are we doing? So we knew we were gonna miss all CS. That's just too big of a wave at like awkward health meters to get under tower. But I think you know you can do better here. I mean, you can just quick burst most of this down. You could like Q as this shot comes in. Your dagger should land somewhere important, and then you can EW on it and clean up with auto the higher health. But instead, we kind of just lose everything. It's bad. Okay. First of all, bot lane. In a VOD review, we don't care so much about the other lanes unless it's time to roam. So now the wave, naturally, if neither of you touch it, organically it's going to push to their side. He's going to keep pushing this under, though. He has lane pressure, lane priority. There's not a lot you can do. So it's going to push. He's going to counter push. If he was smart, he'd let it push to his side. And he zoned you off in that CS. You shouldn't have been zoned off in that CS. You're giving him a little too much respect. Your cat, you have Ignite. This is all-inable. Go in there, use everything. He'll use his little clone, duplicate, invisible thingy, and then he'll try to stay on you. And then you can flash, re-engage E. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to play cat. You know how to play cat. But have confidence in your play. At the very least, find opportunities to play a little risky. Don't be afraid to do that right now. You need to consider yourself in a learning phase and a new phase to competitive gaming. So don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Find what you can and can't do as your character. Yeah, we're half health. Yeah, he's about half health. He's down. He still has one more corrupting pot. If we just keep trading like we are, we lose lane because he still has sustain and you don't, right? So look for opportunities to go be aggressive. So we have Mundo coming in. This should be a successful gank. So instantly jump on him. Ignite. Get out. He's going to go invisible right now. And he's dead. Perfect. Okay. So definitely a hard push wave here. This wave is just too big. Depending on where the next wave was, let's say this next wave was actually like right about here instead of here. We could actually freeze it right here. And then all these minions would just kill his minions. Or you could out push and then get one more wave. Big crash. Sorry, I said that completely wrong. We could wait for the next wave to try to meet right here if possible. And then build a bigger wave to crash. Since this is on cannon wave, it's going to take forever for that to clear, which means you have one of two options. You can either go push and get a plate, or you can just back right here with your advantage. I'd go for back. We don't know where the jungle is. We just had a successful gank mid from our jungle. General rule of thumb is if your jungle was just there, their jungle is somewhere nearby, because each jungle kind of paths the same way, and they keep doing the same thing. And they just kind of go in circles. And you're mid, so always assume they're on your side. So yeah, this would be good. Hard push the wave, get out, go get your buy. You always check lane states at this point. If you want to go for lane pressure either way, you're more than welcome to. But you also don't want to be out of lane too long with an advantage. So I would just back here. So we even CS, he's going to lose this wave. And typically, until you get at least tier 1, if not tier 2 boots, you don't do too much roaming. And there was Yi right there. Yeah, so Yi's going to clean up mid, so we actually didn't deny all that much CS and gold. We did from our laner, but not from their team overall. Nothing you can do about that. Just keep that in mind. It looks like it's got frozen right there. I tried to click the map. Dumb. Okay. So we're looking at lane state. His current wave is still alive, and his next wave is coming. So his wave is 4 minions up, including 3 casters. This means we do not want to trade on him right now, because if we do a sustained trade, we lose. You can do like a poke trade, like get out real quick and jump out. If we can. Otherwise, it's just going to push straight into our side. We don't have a way to control this wave. It's going to crash under tower, which is bad. We don't want this wave to crash. We want to somehow freeze it right here. So for this to happen, we have to clear some sort of minions. My favorite thing to do in this is to do my best to clear the casters. Casters just do too much damage. And they survive not as long, so it's good to kind of clear them. So he's hard pushing. This was good. I like the decision a lot. We'll see how it works in execution. You know, we hit our Q, our dagger landed in a good spot. We're going to EW onto this. We're going to have our E to disengage. You can still E onto your target too, right? Either way. This is good. So we're going to chunk this wave a little bit, and we're going to get a good trade and get out. So we want to proc electrocute and bounce. Okay, we proc electrocute, and we're out. He used all his cooldowns too, which is good. So I want to do that same exact trade if possible right here. In and out, but we have to wait like 10 seconds. Good Q, pressure him when we can. I'm fine with that. Trying our best to freeze this. And we missed 1. 2. Okay. Not the worst. You handled that well. And the reason why you didn't lose all that CS is because that first initial big trade you took on the wave. That was good. He's just warding. He's not going to go anywhere right now. Okay, so he's pushing. When it's on cannon wave, don't be as afraid if they want to crash under tower to let them crash. If you feel pressured by them, you shouldn't feel pressured, but just understand the cannon takes so many hits from the tower to die that you can just fire him up while that happens. But also know, if he can push the cannon wave in, he's going to be able to free roam wherever he wants, and you can't follow because you have to get your CS. And then that goes the other way around too. If you have a chance to push the cannon wave into tower, it gives you ample time to go roam. Okay. So he did, again, what we kind of talked about day one back when. He was reading your mind. He knows that you're going to want to go for this CS or this CS. And he just saved all his abilities, so as soon as you did, he was able to punish you. Now this is one, you need to sense him doing that, and that's okay if he's doing it. If he wants to engage right here, you theoretically should win the trade because he'll draw aggro from all these minions. Okay, so he jumps on, he procs his electrocute. So because he initiated, he got the better of the trade. So this will be another one. If we want, we can take a hard trade engage right here to try to clear the wave, get in, get out. He's going to try to punish that cannon.
An enemy has been slain.
Okay, he's giving up the cannon. Alright, he's down a lot of cooldowns. I'm just going to push on tire. So he's probably going to just chill for a bit. See how we CS here. Nice. Missed that one. We'll get that. Miss that. We'll get this. Oh. And miss that. Oh, we got it. Nice. Alright. So Wukong is MIA. We don't necessarily know where. We know if he went this way, we would have seen him. Because we didn't see him, right? So let's check that last trade we did. He has no reason to back here. So he hard pushed. He realized he had free time. So he's either going to go top to try to secure this because the Saint's pushed up, or he'd go down here. They did have vision because the Yi was down. So let's see if we can track him a little bit. We have no idea where he went. We would have seen him go bot, I believe. He did go bot. Okay. And then he was still missing. So if he's still missing at this point, by the time lane gets back to neutral, assume that he went top. Because if he goes bot, which is where you'd be going, you win anyway. Alright, so we're going to assume that he went somewhere. He's MIA. He's either top or bot. We know he didn't back. So he could have backed, actually, if he had a power spike. But we know he's gone, so we have a couple choices. It looks like we're choosing to hard push this wave. This is what I don't like doing, because if you hard push this wave, you actually get less of an opportunity to roam, and this is why. This wave is solid, but if we hard push, we're just going to push these 6 squishy minions under tower, right? That's not going to do a lot. Even if this next wave comes up, we're going to push 12 squishy minions under tower. It's not going to last very long. The idea of pushing under tower is to have them miss a little bit of CS, absolutely, but it's also to give us more map pressure. So by hard pushing this right now, it puts us in a bad spot. What I'd rather do, because this is naturally going to push, I would look to build up a big wave. So I would focus on just last hitting wherever we can. And then when Wukong shows, if he shows, that's the opportunity to hard push the remainder of the wave. So he has to deal with that big wave at a low level, which is anything pretty much under 11 we consider kind of low. That way he has to farm under tower, or he has to stay in lane, because he would have to kite these and pull them out as the minions push in to make sure they don't go under tower. And while he's doing that, that's when you have opportunities to roam. So that's when you can roam, say, bot or top, and then go for a gank, and then their team tilts. Oh, why didn't you follow her, this and that? He didn't have a choice, because he would have lost out on 50 CS if he did that. Obviously not 50, but you know what I mean. So instead of just initially hard pushing this, also because we're not 100% sure that he's gone, I would just focus on last hitting. Just last hit, farm up, try to build up a big wave, draw some aggro from these so they hit you and not the minions, or have them hit the minions. And so many other choices than hard pushing. Because remember, as long as this wave is up and even on both sides, he's missing CS and you're not, because you're last hitting. So, you know, just take the last hit here, let these casters kill this one. When this gets weak, take the last hit there, then the casters will kill this one. Same thing, just like that. You can deny CS not just to tower, but within the wave. So let the minions kill minions for you. So we're hard pushing. I'm going to assume that we're not going to get a lot of value from this hard push, but we will check. So this is one of those, we hard push, it got under tower, so Wukong's going to miss 6 CS. At best case scenario, he misses 6 CS. We go back to get a little bit of a spike. This is also one of those, and you guys all have this kind of bad habit of backing way too often. You don't have any control of the map when you back. So another reason why we should have tried to freeze this or just last hit, slow push it, build up a wave, is we would sit here and continue to gain experience, which means by the time Wukong getting back happens, you're going to be up levels, experience, and lane pressure. You're going to be in a better state. Then you can go back, or then you can go roam. If you do it now, you're just letting him get control of this lane again. We don't want to give him control of the lane. You're denying him at best 6 CS right now. Doesn't seem like a good trade for me. So we could have still been in lane. See, now he's back in lane. So we could have been there to push back these melee minions a little bit so that it would have, this next wave would have been under tower as well. And that whole time we could have denied more CS, so more of these minions could have died, and maybe even gotten a plate. So if you hard push and stay, you get a plate. If you slow push, you deny more CS and build up a big wave, and then you can crash it to deny and roam or back. Instead, we just back, and now he gets lane pressure again. He gets to choose however he wants to control this lane right now. So it looks like he's trying to hard push, mini hard push. I don't know what he's doing. Alright, so he's hard pushing the wave, which means, and he's hard pushing. So you're gonna have this big old wave coming into you, and he's gonna have an opportunity to roam. This is bad again. We now have 0 map pressure. So yeah, we may be able to farm, we may be able to stay alive and be okay CS-wise even, but he's going to get all the CS that he wanted, as much as you're going to get on this, except while you're having to catch up farm, he can roam and do whatever he wants. He could help his Yi with an invade. He could go gank top, he could go gank bot. If he wants, he could go secure scuttle. He could do anything right now where we can't do anything. We have to stay in lane at this point. And this wave, way too big for us to go take a trade. We would 100% lose this trade now. So now we're going to have to farm on a tower, which is incredibly difficult for most mids, yet alone assassin mid. Okay, let's see how much we miss. Good so far. Missed 1 melee, missed 2 melee. So, not the worst. We were able to have a really fast clear to clean that up. We missed 2 melees, but while this is happening, Wukong gets to do something. We don't know what he's doing, but he gets to do something. He gets to put some map pressure on. If he wants, he can go place a deep ward somewhere. He could be warding here, 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 here. He could be warding in his side jungle. No matter what, it doesn't matter. He's doing something that should be benefiting his team, where we don't have that luxury. Okay, so he is invading. Again, he had that luxury. Took some farm, and now we follow. So following here is interesting. It is our jungle, so following isn't the worst thing. But since our Vlad didn't react to it and move in, Wukong's going to get out, I feel like, for sure. So I would have stayed in lane. Okay, he's gone. So this is one of those. He had an unsuccessful invade. Whether he was successful or not, we need to punish him for it. But we're not punishing because we're just leaving the wave. So he invades. You can either push this under tower to get a plate. You could build up a big wave, deny a ton of CS. You can do a lot of things. And if, let's say he comes in, he gets the kill and steals Gromp. Yeah, that sucks. But then if we followed, can we do anything to him? No, we'd lose out or he'd get out anyway. So not only did we give him the kill and the Krugs, sorry, not Gromp, the kill and the Krugs, he's also going to get out and we're going to waste our time. Now let's say he gets Krugs and a kill on Mundo, but this whole time you're denying CS here and still farming and pushing up. That 500 gold advantage he just got drops down to maybe 100 or 200 gold advantage. Now it's not that bad that he went. Now let's say he goes in and fails his invade like he did now, and we would have stayed and pushed here. He loses about a 200 to 300 gold trade off of that, not including experience. So we follow, but we didn't have an opportunity to do anything because he's already out. He was able to roam for free, and this is what we're talking about, because he was able to build up his wave and push it in. You didn't have a choice. You had to stay and fight the wave. So that's what you should have done to him before. So what he did was a free roam. It doesn't hurt him in almost any way. We could have punished him a little bit by denying some CS here, but we're not really doing that. I mean, he's using CS, but so are you, because you're not there. So it's one of those, he had that luxury. you don't have an opportunity to follow because he managed the wave better than you. Alright, so I'm just kind of wasting time. There's nothing to do top. Second wave's gonna crash, so each of you gonna miss, and he actually beat you back to lane. So yeah, we're just falling so far behind by this roam. See, he's clearing the casters. That's what we were talking about before, when you're trying to get these waves to crash into a big one. So he's trying to clear the casters to push in. So his idea is to crash it. If he wanted to just freeze it, he wouldn't do that because the casters do a good job at killing minions, which you're trying to farm. Yeah, he just wants to hard push this and back somewhere. So again, he has lane priority, lane control. So he's going to be able to hard push this. He mistimed it a little bit. He should be zoning off right now and waiting for the next wave. But regardless, even if he does it now, which isn't the best, he'll be able to hard push this in. You have to stay to fight off this wave. And of course, there's a big cannon for you. So he gets another free roam. He could again go top and you can't follow because you have to handle the wave. He could invade again and you can't follow because you have to handle the wave. He could go back and buy and you can't because you have to handle the wave. No matter what, he's controlling this lane and it's putting us in a bad spot. So there he goes. So we're doing our best to clear this fast, but Wukong's already gone. So we get all the CS. Nice job on the CSing, that's really cool, but again, he's gone. Wukong is all the way bot lane. We can't do anything at this point. We cannot follow. And the bad part about this is he can invade also. And if he invades, you don't have a choice but probably to follow back if he actually fights with Mundo. But if he invades and doesn't fight and you chase again, you get even farther behind. So this is one, let's control this wave. It's going to meet right here, which means if we completely leave it, it'll slow push to his side, which we don't necessarily want. What we want to do is build up a big wave and crash it into him. Or theoretically, here would be one because it's not on cannon. You could hard push and try to get some plates. Remember, 2 plates is equal to a kill, so we could actually punish him. The previous wave was a cannon wave, which means this wave here and this wave coming aren't cannon waves. It's every 3rd wave. So you could actually get some plates here too. So let's see what we choose to do. And we'll talk about it. So it looks like we're trying to hard push. Missing some CS. Okay. We have a ton of wards up there, so I would get this plate. You have to get this plate. We're not. We're going for a deep ward. Yi came in. Wukong's here. And it's another one of those, because Wukong had better wave management, we don't get anything. We're not really denying any CS. We don't get a plate. We don't get to go play some wards. We don't really get to do anything. And some of this was hesitation. So you know Wukong's pretty far away. So that's an opportunity to go get a plate. If Yi does come down, you shouldn't be too worried about him as Cat. You can just kind of kite him off and run away. It's a short lane. You're in mid, which means you can escape pretty easily, more times than not. Yeah, we don't get anything from this again. It's just like before. We lose lane priority. Wukong's able to push it in and get a free roam that we can't punish. And we need to, again, cut our losses. If he's roaming constantly, that's really good for you because then you can get on top of levels in CS. Unless he has successful roams, then there's not much you can do. So at this point in the game, you and Wukong are even CS. He's at 51, you're at 52. But he's had successful roams. He's had invades for pressure. He's gotten more warding for his team. And he hasn't lost anything. Despite all of that, like, we should have a couple plates down or have better vision, denied CS, anything. We could have done a lot, and we haven't. Okay. This is CS. Gonna back here. What's happening?
Only fools hesitate.
Okay, he used a cooldown. So that was good. Good recognition. So there's no mana, so this might be a legitimate back. Mundo's top, which means most likely if Yi was over here, he'd be going this way. If Yi was bot side, he'd be coming to you, but as we know, Mundo took his camp, so Yi is most likely top side. Most likely. Which means we have nothing pressuring us. This is, again, he's doing a back because he has to. He has another resource bar to manage with his MP. You don't. So I would not be backing here. This is another opportunity that we can deny a lot of CS. We can go get a plate if we want. We can do a lot of things. Alright, so we choose a hard push, which I'm okay with. That means that you're trying to get plates. If you back after this, huge mistake. Huge mistake. So no matter what, that CS would have been denied, right? Like, because our minions would have killed each other right there in the middle. So neither one of you would have got that CS. So you can get the 6 CS, which is really nice, but we could have also went in and got some plates. This is already over. You made a mistake being on the wrong side of the map. So Yi went over here to clear his camps, but there was nothing there because he's an idiot. Drake was already down, so he didn't know what to do. He didn't want to gank a Katarina. That was, at the time, you were pushed back. So he invaded, and he died for it. He is really bad jungle management. Simple. Easy. Right. So they stayed. So this is going to be a nice little roam for us. Hopefully. Oh, they'll be able to get out. Unfortunate. Ooh. And then we die for it too. Even if we wouldn't have died here, obviously this is not the best result. I'm kind of okay with the idea here, but it's also one of those, again, all you need to do when you're trying to win these games is win your lane, right? So we could have just denied so much more from Wukong. So now we're dead. Wukong gets to freeze this wave or build up a big one crash. You can do anything right now and get to roam for free again. The big thing is we need to get out of the habit of just always hard pushing the wave when we don't see somebody there. It's often best to build up a big wave.
An ally has been slain.
You don't even have that good of a buy. Oh, this Hex Drinker is unkillable now. Damn, you're gonna lose a ton of CS here. And plates. Look at our Mundo up 2 levels and still dead. Yeah, so we lost almost 10 CS and 2 plates. So fortunate enough, Wukong should have stayed to handle one more wave. Since our jungle's down, they should get Drake for free with or without the roam or Wukong or anything. So he should have pushed this extra wave in and under and denied you more. But where he left it now, it's going to actually slow push his side, which isn't the worst for him either. Then he can build up a big wave. Wukong's mid. He probably backed, but Cat isn't the best at taking Drake, so yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay. Start pushing, it's gonna be on his side and still pushing his way with no pressure. So I'm fine with. At this point, we can't really all in and kill him anymore. He has Hex Drinker, makes him really tough to kill. Taking trades, probably not gonna benefit us that much either. Neither one of us is gonna do a lot of damage. Now we're just pretty much farming. Just lame. So he's won this phase. He should have won it way better, but I mean, actually, you should have won it. 100% should have won it. He goes in when you go for cannon. When you go for cannon, he's ready for it. He punishes you on it. We make the good play. I'm actually kind of surprised you didn't ult here. I guess I don't know if you saw the Mundo coming. Like, that wouldn't have been all that bad. It would have, at the very least, pushed him out of lane. Because the knockup doesn't stop your ult, right? Oh, no, it might. Because it, like, stuns you, too. I thought it was just a knockup. Okay, if that stuns you, then you made the right play. At least to this point. I would consider just instantly ulting back. He can't kill you, right? He didn't go a lot of damage. I wouldn't have been afraid to ult there.
Enemy killing spree. Turret plate will fall soon.
There you go. So back to my original point. I wouldn't be afraid of ulting there. Now, if that does knock you up, of course, don't do it before. I mean, if it stuns you out of it. But after he used it, there was no reason not to. He was doing his stupid Garen spin thing. That's your time to do a better spin. Cat spin is way better. Okay. Oh, my God. Fuck you, Grand. Okay. Yeah, we kind of got it back. It's not the end of the world. You didn't need to retreat as far as you did either. Their jungle's down, their Wukong's down, their Jax is top. Everything alive you can pretty much see. I would have just backed probably over here. Gone way quicker. Alright, lose top tower. Okay. We still don't have a great power spike. We didn't do the best farming. We are up Drake's though. That's cool.
Been slain.
Alright, Wave's gonna push their side, I believe. Slow push, which means since it's already on his side, we want to hard push this as soon as we get there. Unless he hard pushes back. It's gonna come our way. He's not hard pushing. Or he is. He can't make up his mind on what he's trying to do. It's pissing me off. Gonna go our way. Mundo's nearby. Okay, so if we actually want a gank here, we can't make this play. So we just used a lot of cooldowns, which means he gets to engage on us. We're gonna use our second E to get out, but we're gonna take a chunk most likely if he plays this right. Yep. So bad trade for us, and because of that, the wave's gonna start pushing their side again. We have Mundo here. He's kind of on your side. You know he's going to... Well, at this point, he's going to go bot. But if we wanted him to help us at all, we can't push the wave like that. Again, bad trade. He has sustain. We don't. Smundo pushes it in. He's going to go ward. He's not going to invade or anything right now. There's no point. He knows it. Where did he go? Maybe he's taking Rift? So I honestly don't know what he's doing. My best guess isn't Rift. I think he went over here to ward and then saw Rift Scuttle Crab up and started taking Scuttle Crab. That's my guess. Oh, he went bot. Wow, he baited us hard. Okay, so Wukong went bot. We're already hard pushing this wave. Again, we had a choice. If we think he's gone, we can slow push it. But more importantly, I guess if he was just here or just warding, we don't want to hard push this because then he can come in from behind us and hurt us. We wanted to just kind of freeze it here, last hit, and build up a wave and push it under. So when you're building up a wave here, you want to kind of move over to the casters and hit the cannon, and then the casters will start targeting you, which means they're not targeting these. That lets you build up a big wave. Or you can just try to last hit and then trust that the casters will kill some of your minions so that Wukong misses CS, or we can push. It's after minute 14, so plates aren't a thing anymore. Means I don't really know what I'd want to do here, honestly. But if we back here, I know I wouldn't do that. Wukong's bot. Like, what are you doing? And it's waste of time. Still more map awareness. Maybe we didn't see that Wukong was bot, but we need to get way more here. Get this, push it under, do something. Lame. Alright, Jax is here. Jax has Triforce, so don't fuck with him. Triforce and a BF sword. And he hasn't even finished Cole. Alright. Mundo's here. He's going in. That's pretty good. I'll take that play all day. Playing it, yeah. Okay. So that's a nice little play for us. Pretty much at this point makes it so that we theoretically won the lane, but we should have been way farther ahead. Alright, close to Hex Tag. And then laning phase is pretty much over at this point, so we can kind of stop it. So a couple things just really to note is wave management things. I'd recommend just every once in a while find a different YouTube video on wave management and just watch it, refresh on it until something else clicks. Hopefully like this review gives you that little bit of like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Start implementing as much as we can. Of course, you won't be able to have much lane management, wave management, if you always lose lane priority. So you need to find opportunities to control the lane so that you can choose where the wave goes and how it goes. Don't always instant back. The best thing you can always do is be in lane as long as possible, unless you have a major item spike. That doesn't mean part of an item, it doesn't mean boots, doesn't mean any of that. It means a major item upgrade. Because if you can't get that, you'd rather stay in lane, get more experience to get the levels, keep getting gold, and deny more experience and gold from your opponent. Being up levels in this game is huge, especially in laning phase. Outside laning phase, items become way more important. But during laning phase, items aren't as important as levels. Being up levels is amazing. Especially with the new updates for the preseason and moving into Season 10. Lane experience is everything. I need you in lane as long as possible. Also understanding that most junglers will need to be power farming. If they're not power farming, they get behind. So if you're just staying in lane, even if you're down items up levels and they're trying to abuse you with ganks, just staying there and soaking experience will put you ahead of your opposing laner, because if the jungler's there, they're splitting experience, and your jungle will be ahead because their jungle isn't farming. No matter what, it's a win-win. So definitely just try to stay in lane as long as possible, and best way to stay in lane is to make sure your opponent doesn't have lane control. If you have lane control, lane priority, you can stay in lane forever, and then they'll be the ones forced to be like, well, I can't exactly go in because the lane's frozen right here, so I'm going to go back. And he'll do that, he'll lose experience, and you'll be up levels, and you'll constantly be up levels. As of right now, we never have had an opportunity to actually try to like freeze the wave right here, because we never had lane priority. He was always able to control where it goes, so he was able to break freezes constantly and keep pushing it past us. We don't want that. We want to be able to control the lane.